Okay, guys, today we're talking about suffixes. We've talked about prefixes before, which you can see over here. Prefixes were words that we added to the beginning, and they kind of changed the meaning of our base word. So for a prefix, we added some stuff to the beginning to switch up our base word a little bit. For a suffix, we're going to be adding things to the end. So that's going to be a little bit different. We're going to be adding things to the end. It's similar. They're kind of like brother and sister, but they're different. Just like prefixes have meaning, suffixes also have meaning. So we'll talk about that as well. So a suffix is a part of a word that's placed at the end of a base word or a root word. So we'll have a word, and then we'll put a little bit more on the end. So that's what a suffix is. So here are some common ones, some ones that first graders should know. We've got full, which means full of, like beautiful would mean full of beauty. We've got er, meaning more. Er can also mean someone who does that. So you can say, I am funnier than that person. So er would mean more. I am more funny than that person. It can also mean someone who does something. I'm a teacher, so I teach. I'm a person who teaches. Teacher, person who teaches. ly is our next one, and it describes how. If you walk slowly, that means you're going slow. So ly describes how. Less means without. You might have heard somebody before say homeless. That means they're without a home. Okay. Y means full of, like feisty. They have the Y at the end, so they're ready to go. Or icy with a Y at the end would be full of ice. Like if the roads are icy, be full of ice. Okay. est, that means most. So if someone is the fastest, it means they are the one that is the most fast. ing is an action, so you're doing it right now. And we talked about ing and ed a lot earlier in the year. So ing, like walking, that means you are moving your feet right now to walk. And then the last one is able, like able to, that means you can. It's something that you can do. So if you're able, that means that you can do it. Okay. We'll move it on to the next slide. So we have our words that we start with, and then we have a suffix, and then we get a new word. There's one with able right there. Adore, then we add a new suffix, able. Now you're adorable. And that means that is something you can be, is adore. So you're adorable. Here's run with the ER on the end. Remember we said that someone who does that, sometimes we put ER, like Miss Barton is somebody who teaches, so she's a teacher. Somebody who runs would be a runner. Okay. Baby-ish, see the ISH. We didn't talk about ish, but it is an example of a suffix. Okay. Adding ish, and then es. We didn't talk about es right now either. That's making something plural, which means making it more than one. So if you have a berry and you want to make it more than one, you would put es, and that would make it berries. Another way to make things more than one would be to just add an s, like in shoes or socks. You just add an s. And other times we change the y to an I and add es, and other times we do IES. It just depends. We are not really talking about making things plural. We already have done plural nouns, so we're not really talking about plural nouns. We're talking about suffixes. However, when you add words and parts of words to the end of a base word, it's technically a suffix. So I wanted to touch it, but I don't want to go into it because we've already talked about making things plural. So So here's some more, and here's ing and ed. Here's some rules when we're changing things. Some things change, some things don't. Okay? So again, let's review. A suffix is something that goes at the end of a word. We have a base word. We put some more at the end to help describe it even more. Okay? Now, guys, there's lots of rules and things for suffixes. We're not going to get into all that yet. We're going to pump the brakes on that. This is just to tell us what suffixes are, remind us of a few that we already know, and teach us a few new ones. And we'll have some more time to talk about the rules of suffixes later, okay? So thank you for watching the introduction to suffixes, and I will see you next time.